So my husband and I moved here from Chicago in late 2018, and I was pregnant, and my husband was working a 50-hour work week as a welder. We lived just up the street from Trillium in the library, and I was really sick for most of my pregnancy, so I didn't get out when we got to Maine, and then we had our baby, and she, of course, she changed our lives. But I had her near the winter, and we obviously just came home and was with the baby. It had a C-section, and I was trying to heal, and we had no family or friends when we got to Maine, so it was a very lonely time. And in February 2019, I had healed up enough from my C-section, so I was like, okay, baby, we're gonna get out and we're gonna walk. And so we would just get our stroller out, and we would walk down the street, and we started going to MacArthur Library and Elements. And then I walked past Trillium, and they had the most beautiful window display of just all these winter fun, beautiful things. Everything was sparkling, and so I said, I'm gonna walk in there. I know it's a boutique gift shop. And I walked in, and there was Renee, and she was just smiling from ear to ear. Everything about Renee just screamed to me that she cared, and I literally met her 2 seconds ago. So she asked me my name, our story, my husband's name, what he did, our baby's name. I think the biggest thing about Renee was that she was just so excited for me to be here when I was not feeling that at all. I didn't want to be in Maine. I wanted to move back to Chicago. I didn't know why we'd picked Maine, really. It just felt very lonely, and then Renee came into our lives. And so she looked at me, and she was, okay, anytime you're down here, just come in and say hello. And so I left, and I went home, and I just remember feeling so buoyed by her love for me and my baby. And so we ended up walking back down the Trillium the next day just to say hello. I met her assistant at the time, Carrie, who was also just over the moon that I had a baby. And both of them were like, do you know of this program to help moms? Have you signed up for this thing? All things that I hadn't heard of. And so we established a friendship, which I think something was that just spoke to me was that I didn't buy anything from Trillium for probably a year. I would just go in and look around and chat with the ladies, and then we would talk about my family, I would talk about their families, what they like to do in Maine, and so we moved into summertime, and we would meet outside, just outside their little store. And then fast forward, so July 2020, we bought our first house here in Biddeford, and it was Renee and Carrie who gave us some of our first housewarming gifts. They were so excited that we were deciding to stay in Maine. And then in September, my baby was born in December of 2020, I told them, they were one of the first people back in March of 2020 when I told that I was pregnant. And they had said, when you have a baby, you need to let us know. And I was like, I'm not having any more babies. And then I went up and had another baby. And they said, we can't wait for this baby to come. And every single time I had a prenatal appointment, they would always either text me or ask me when I saw them how it went, how the baby was doing, how I was feeling, and if I needed anything. And this was just, again, so incredible because she's a business owner, right? She didn't need to care for me or my family or my children. And as a postpartum new mom in a new state, that meant everything. I can honestly say that her care for me and my family truly impacted my well-being. Being postpartum can be really hard, very lonely, especially really not knowing anybody, and just having somebody who is kind of in your corner cheering you on, like Renee, can make all the difference in the world. So we had that baby in December 2020, and Renee brought over the most delicious casserole and some new clothes, and Carrie sent over socks and pajamas, and they've just always been there. And so even now, they'll say things like, if you need us, we're right down the street, just give us a call. Their whole Maine spirit, like they just kept on saying, Maine is the best place to live, and now I believe it. But it was because of them that I feel like they truly impacted my first impressions of what it is to know and love a Mainer.